Alright class, settle down, class is in session. Everyone get to your seats. Hey there YouTube, I'm Yukitsu, this is Yukitsu Times, welcome to my channel. Welcome back to Don't Starve and our little guide slash walkthrough slash whatever. Today, it's winter, it's the 21st, it starts to snow, and the wolves are about to attack me because they're utter bastards who don't have any sense of seasonal festivity, or whatever. Now, let's get this on, and I'm trying to... There we go. Now, I'll probably have to switch the axe to thwack away at these guys because my spear is going to break. But, on the other hand, I don't want to waste a tentacle spike bat on like two of these bastards. Or it's going to turn to day and I'm going to goddamn book it up to the beefalo herds. So we've got our heat stone. It's nice and orange. We've got this winter hat, but we're wearing our helmet because it will keep us alive while the wolves are biting my ankles off. I'm not sure how that works precisely because my ankles are nowhere near my football helmet. And if they are, there's serious problems. But as you can see, just running away from wolves. There's 3 of them now because, you know, they increase in number as the waves increase. Where the hell are these beefalo? Here they are. They're not in heat, so I can run right through them like this. Perfect. And, yeah, we're just going to do this the old-fashioned way. You can hear the whiny sounds of that dog as he gets, like, gang destroyed by all these beefalo. And that one, when he barks like that, he's gonna go off and do his thing as well. That's all of them. Ah, crap. Okay, so I can't use that either. Let's just put all these on the ground for now. Let's take that off. As you can see, I've constructed a walrus walking stick from that McTusk I killed. I'm gonna have to go get some more of those bastards because they also drop tam-o-shanters? Some Scottish thing that you put on your head. I, not being Scottish, have no idea what it is, but regardless, the walking cane, useful if you can get it. It increases your speed by 15%. So it lets you explore a little bit more, it lets you explore a little bit faster. Those McTusks, they do respawn on a fairly frequent basis, so I'm going to go grab up my backpack and head back down there once I've warmed up by the fire a little bit. But as you can see, you know, no problem. No problem so far. The big question you really need to ask yourself is, well, what in the heck do you do in winter exactly? And the answer is not much. Not much happens in winter. Basically, it's you make sure that your wood stores are high enough, which I haven't because I'm lazy. You make sure that you've got enough food, which I've got tons of. And you make sure that you've got something else to do. In my case, that's going to be constantly just killing those McTusks. I've caught a bluebird. I actually like it when I've got a bluebird, so I'm going to build a cage for him as well. That'll be a nice project. In the meanwhile, let's feed this monster meat to this bird so I can get the eggs, and we'll go visit the Pig King as well. That'll be another trip. There we go. So, got our walking cane. Let's go for a nice long walk down to the McTusks. Give them a nice little family visit. Let's put on our winter hat. And head on down there. Now, their igloo appears on the map, but it's only there in winter, so you have to sort of remember where it is a little bit, but it's, you know, not too bad, and since it's only there in winter anyway, I guess you can just consult your map. There's probably some marking there in summer, I just don't happen to know where it is. I'm not sure where the hell the older McTusk is. Okay, maybe he hasn't respawned yet. Okay, let's switch this around a little bit. I'm not sure where my helmet is. There we go. Okay, well, that's that. I think the young one is going to hide in his house. Yeah, it looks like the older one is still dead, so we're going to have to wait for him to respawn. Apparently it'll take him a little bit longer than it does for the wolves to respawn. That's fine, I can deal with that. In the meantime, I'm going to go back to base, and we're going to spend the evening chopping down wood, because we haven't got very much of it. We're running out of grass as well, we're running out of a lot of different non-crucial resources. Because really, there's not much to do in winter other than cozy up to a nice warm fire, and try not to die of starvation or thirst or hunger or anything like that. I guess you can't die of thirst in this game, but you know what I mean. I mean, basically winter is just checked to see if you stockpiled enough resources over the summer. That's all it really is. And if you have, this shouldn't be a problem for you. If you have not got enough resources, you're going to have to brave the cold, you're going to have to brave the weather, and there's a good chance that you'll either freeze to death, or you'll have trouble getting food and starve to death, or you'll get attacked by mobs while you're traveling out in winter. So those are the problems that you're going to encounter. It's not so much that you're going to have any problems if you're well stocked, because you're not. I could literally just sit in my camp all winter and everything would be perfectly fine. So what I'm talking about now are activities you can do in winter to keep yourself occupied and sane. And what we're going to do is we're going to visit the Pig King. That'll be a nice little trip. We're going to build ourselves a bluebird cage. We might actually even go and get... Actually, I don't even think I have to visit the Pig King to build another cage. We do have to visit the swamps, though. I need paper. I hate paper. That'll be an interesting trip, then. So, yeah, we'll do that. But, yeah, it's just what winter is. It's keeping that cabin fever away. I've got 125 sanity, so I obviously don't have cabin fever yet. But, you know, still gonna get incredibly bored incredibly quickly if I don't do something. So, let's do something. Now then, let's get back to our fire. This is a pretty mild winter so far. Just gonna throw those pine cones in there because I don't really have any need for them. Looks like we actually did have another stack of wood that I just wasn't paying attention to. Fantastic. And let's look in our chests here. This one. There we go. And we'll make better use of those later on, but for now, that's what we're doing with them. Let's go harvest our crock pot. Eat that honey ham and watch as our food rebounds pretty much to the top. It's, actually, we can do this too. Okay, so... Oops. Yeah, in winter, the nights are long, the days are short. So it's hard to get anything done. And that's more the danger of winter than anything else, is that you don't have much time to do anything. So if you actually have anything that you have to do, you're probably in a little bit of trouble, because you're probably not going to be able to get it all done. So, that's sort of how winter works. I'm sure that... Damn it, I keep forgetting. I like to keep my beef jerky in separate piles, so... do it like that. But yeah, if you keep your beef jerky in separate piles, it takes a lot longer for it to sort of spoil. You can eat the stuff that's about to spoil. Anyway, let's get all that in there. Let's get this one cooking for tomorrow. Got a couple green caps over here. We're going to cook these up. And you might be thinking, well, those are poisonous, and yeah, you're absolutely right. But they're a good cure for insanity if you cook them. They're bad if you're eating them raw. Pop my sanity up. Nice, good amount. That's not too bad. And we can recover that little bit of health just by eating a cooked seed, so it's not really a big deal anyway. There we go. Perfect. Let's go open our icebox and drop this monster meat in there as well. Don't want that going bad either. But yeah, today, just because we're out of things to do that are exciting, we're going to go collecting papyrus in the swamps again. I may as well try and get like 12 of the damn things while I'm up there, just because, I mean, I don't want to keep making trips up there. That would be insane. Okay, so my beard grew back a little bit. I'm going to keep it on through the winter. Your beard provides a little bit of insulation, so you can stay out in the cold a little bit longer with it. I'm going to put my nice little winter hat on, very stylish. It's starting to snow again. Pick up saplings and grass along the way since we're running short on those resources. And just try and get there, try and get as many reeds as possible. If we have to, we can start a fire along the way. That's fine. But you just gotta keep warm. It's not too hard to stay warm. And, like, if you set up everything properly during the summer months, this is going to be no problem for you. You're not even gonna have to leave your base if you don't want to. You can just snuggle up by the fire, nice hot chocolate, listen to the beefalo going blah, blah, like zombies, the mating call of the local zombie or whatever, and just, you know, the only thing you'll have to worry about are those hound invasions. I can even just collect carrots here, so I'm even extra not starving. Ta-da! So much food. that literally a lot of it's going to go to waste when all of it starts to rot, but that's fine. Okay, let's pick up reeds from around the edges here. You can see like all this rot here, and that's from fights between the local fishes. Oh shit. Okay, the local fishmen and the tentacles. So, it's, as you can see, it's resulted in a lot of rot. That's from the rotting, like, tentacle flesh and from the rotting fish and the rotting frog legs. But, yeah, that also means this area is a little bit safer to travel through. And, of course, I got to pick up this nice free tentacle bat without having to fight anything, which is really nice. Pig heads around here. That's because the fish people don't like the pig people. They're racists. It's like Colombia all over again. But, yeah, they kill each other, so they mount each other's heads up on the wall. Go away, fishman. The nice thing about fishmen is that they actually will go away. They just like it when you're moving too much, but if you move too much and move away from them, they'll just sort of leave you alone. And there's a tentacle right there by that reed. I don't really want to get that one. So, yeah, things are going pretty well. I only need to get, like, okay, how many is it? It's 4, so I need to get 4 more. I'm not going to fall for that again. Okay, you can't see the road in winter very well, so you just have to tab a lot. That'll get you through it. I'm also going to look for Chester while I'm in here. Chester, I think, is quite often in swamp biomes. You can find him pretty much anywhere, but I think he's disproportionately in swamp biomes. Now I've got the walking stick, it's much easier to avoid tentacles. So if you're ever traveling through here, always make sure to get a walking, or if you have a walking stick, to equip it. It's just so useful in this sort of environment. You can use it for other things too, but this is my favorite usage of it, so you just don't even have to care. Just keep running in whichever the hell direction. Let's see here. I've gotten quite away from the main road, and it looks like it's starting to get dark, and my heat stone's gone cold, so I'm going to grab these reeds just because you don't have very many opportunities to come up here for anything other than what you're, just doing reed runs. And they're difficult to do, they're expensive to do because they usually involve a lot of health loss. So just grab them and run. Oh crap. There's a little peninsula there. Okay, so if things get desperate, what I can always do is like carry a torch in front of me. That provides a little bit of extra heat. I don't think so, sucker. But unfortunately, they don't provide enough heat to counteract the cold, so what I might have to do is run down to this forest edge and light something on fire. So let's just light this tree on fire and see what happens. Well, we're nice and warm, which is what really matters. That was a little bit more extreme than I thought it was going to be. I should probably have saved that, Okay, well, we've warmed up quite a bit. We should be able to make it the rest of the way to base. Oh. And you might be thinking that was awfully reckless of me, and to be honest, yes, it was. But on the other hand, I also don't really care because I need charcoal, and that'll be a good place for me to just get it indefinitely. And that biome is forest. Forest biome pretty much is just a few, very scant few twigs, and almost all the rest of it is just trees. And you can plant as many trees as you want. They're not that important. Looks like we're headed in approximately the right direction. We've got a nice honey ham, nice delicious honey ham waiting for us. That'll be a good dinner. Got plenty of wood. Got plenty of fuel for the fire, so things are going pretty well. Lightning rod's providing a little bit of heat as well, but not enough for us to really get sustain off of it. So let's... There's not much really for me to do right now. We can make our spear, that's what I made that rope for. We can put our extra tentacle spike bat in another chest if I've got a free one. There we go. And we can make our paper. Now I'm making 4 even though I only need 3 because I figure, if I'm making one for a bluebird, may as well make one for a blackbird. Oops, crap. Those are difficult to get, so that is really bad. But anyway. Building more and more of these chests here. Let's get these cut reeds in there. I'm sure I'll think of something else to put in there, but this is pretty much what I like to run around with in winter. I might put my beekeeper's hat away. Yeah, it looks like my bee chests or bee boxes have all gone out for the season, so sometimes if they've still got a bit of honey in them, you can harvest them and the bees will come out and start harvesting honey again, but that requires a sort of finicky timing that I just didn't really care to get this time. And we've got plenty of honey stored up, so it doesn't really matter. I'm going to need another gold for that, for the other chest, but that's fine. Let's see here. We got 2 meats left. We're going slightly insane, so you can hear that music? That's these shadowy hands that come out. You can get rid of them, like a lot of people just sort of stand on them and run around the fire in circles, but you can get rid of them for a much longer period of time by actually going and like pushing them way into the darkness. So just run them way into the darkness, and everything will work out a little bit better. Okay, so I apparently need my medicine, which is green mushrooms that have been cooked. So let's go eat ourselves another one of those before we eat our honey ham. And I'm wasting a lot of time in the particularly inefficient way that I'm cooking food, but you know, it sort of doesn't really matter because I've got so much free time. And then honey. And this is pretty much what I like to eat in winter. You can just do this as often as you bloody well want. Actually, I need those seeds back, ironically. Okay, so let's get in structures. Bird cage. And this will stop that infernal clattering that I've got going on in there. I'm going to put this one by the tent on this side, I think. And then I'll build another fire pit over there, so that'll be like a secondary base. Or an expansion to this one. Eventually they'll get your everything so large that it doesn't fit under the radius of one torch, so you'll want a second one. Let's get that over there. Check our bird trap. Let's imprison you in there. Okay, welcome to your new life. Forgot to check to see if there's any more green mushrooms. There was one growing up here somewhere, but you can only harvest them at night. I can't really see it, that's fine. So, oh dear, what do I need to do today? Well, today I'm going to go visit the Pig King with those 9 eggs I've got. We'll give the Pig King those eggs, and we'll see what he wants to trade us for that. It'll be 9 gold, because it's always 9 gold. And another adventure that we could get into this winter is looking for a winter qualiphant. They're different from the other qualiphants in that they're blue. Not really sure why that's better for a winter environment, personally, but, you know, if that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do. I'm not going to judge qualiphant by the color of its fur. But finding the winter qualiphant's a little bit more tricky than it is finding the summer qualiphant, just because it's harder to explore in winter. His tracks are a little bit hard to see thanks to the damn snow, so, yeah. Just do anything you can, though, to stave off the boredom, or if you're actually in dire straits, do anything you can to stay alive, try and get more food. Ironically, finding qualiphant is one of the better ways to find food in winter. Just because there's so much meat, they're still around, you don't have to just go hunting rabbits, which is a little bit more time-consuming in my opinion. Let's see here. Our stone's gone cold. We might want to just adjust our inventory a little bit soon, and then that way we can wear our vest instead of bringing this backpack with us, but, you know, we'll see. Got a bush full of frozen berries here. Eat those. Got a gobbler that sounds like behind us. We could try and catch some gobblers. I could try and make a turkey dinner, but turkey dinners, I forget how to make them, so I've only ever made them once. Can't remember how I did it. So let's just give the Pig King our yearly tithe. There we go. The neat thing about these obelisks is that they'll actually flip, like the tall ones and the submerged ones, they'll flip based on whether you're sane or not, so that's, I think, a neat little thing. Now, what else do we need to do? Well, we could also go finding more rocks, and we could use those rocks to build up a pig village around our house. And if you're wondering why you'd want to do that, it's because pigs are a pretty good resource, but usually they're so far away from wherever it is that you end up wanting to build your base camp that you don't have that many around you. But you can use them to defend yourself against wolves. You can use them for meat, a meat source. You can use them for helmet source, since you need to kill pigs to get helmet gear, unless you find more on sticks. And there's only a limited number of pig sticks around, so it's a good idea to eventually build some pig houses, otherwise you'll have to go trekking for them. So let's make that our next objective, building some pig houses, I guess. We'll have to go find some stone. Of course, we also want to build our birdhouse, but we've got all the ingredients for that, so that's not an issue. It's just got all these little rivers in between our house, so I always forget which I have to walk around. Another good thing that we'll be able to do if we get the stone is we'll be able to sort of make another fire pit, which we wanted to do around that tent, so that we could sort of expand out our base a little bit. We're getting to that point where, like, the base as we have it is too big for one fire, so usually that's how it works. I usually end up with about a 4 fire base, or more realistically I get 2 night lights, which are a sanity draining light source. They're pretty neat, but I get those. Okay, so looks like I have a little bit less fuel than I thought I did, but we're going to go on a wood chopping spree tomorrow as well, since, again, pig houses, to make pig houses you also need a lot of wood. Let's chomp on these for a bit. We're going to sort of plan out where we're going to be putting our base and everything, so let's build this bird cage up here. We're probably going to end up building more refrigerators and crock pots around the tent over there. That's going to be our sort of living area, and this one over on the right here is going to be our agricultural area, where we put our boxes with all our tools and stuff like that, where we can work at night, and where we can harvest crops and work on that in that respect. Okay, my heat stone's heated back up, so let's go chopping trees. Because, you know, you don't want to waste the night. There's no point in that. What I'd also like to do this winter is possibly break enough trees to get a tree ant to come and harass me, but I'm not sure how likely that's going to be at this point in time. I might also want to get a crow, that way I'll just have one of each of the birds. There's no real point to that. Each of the birds is exactly the same when you've got them, but it's aesthetically nice when you've got one of each of the birds. Okay, so I don't think I've really talked about the freezing mechanic, but the way the freezing mechanic works is when the ambient temperature is cold enough due to it being winter or what have you, your character has a limited amount of time before they start freezing, and once they start freezing, they gradually lose health. Actually, it's fairly rapid. You rapidly lose health, I should say. But there are certain things that you can do to keep yourself warm for longer. Warm clothes is one of the biggest components to that. You've seen the warm clothes that I've made. It's this hat, for instance. If I had slots open, you could use a breezy vest or a puffy vest, which is another thing I'd like to find, but that'll require an opportunity. But as you can see, there's this breezy vest that helps us stay warm a little bit longer. You can hold out a torch, and there's this heat stone which holds heat. Wilson also has the advantage that his beard insulates him against winter a little bit, so there's that for him. And he's the only character that can grow that, by the way. So those are all different things that you can do to keep yourself warm. And using all of those to stay warm is pretty much going to let you venture out for, I'd say, half a day safely. You can't run around with a torch throughout the night like I was doing in the summer. That's just not possible. So you have to sort of manage your distances. You have to either manage your inventory or manage your distances, because you'll either end up having to start a lot of fires, or you'll have to end up doing pretty much anything else other than running around non-stop, because you can't. You'll just die of you'll die of hypothermia. Which is the reason why winter's so boring. You can't really leave out of a certain radius of your base camp, which you know, it adds to the challenge in theory, but if you've established yourself like I have, it just makes it a little bit of a drag. So you have to make up your own objectives. That's what I'm doing here. We're going to go do all sorts of crazy things that are, strictly speaking, unnecessary. I could have sworn that there was a green cap above my base somewhere, but I don't know. Anyway, let's get our gear a little bit ready for this escapade. We've got plenty of tools, but we don't have a pickaxe. We turned our pickaxe into our heat stone. Our heat stone's made out of flint rocks and a pickaxe for some reason. So looks like I'll have to make another one of these. And let's put this in a box. So we've got jerky swinging, but I think we're out of fresh meat, so we're not going to worry about that. We're just going to let it sway there for a bit. And we're going to look at where we can find ourselves some rocks. We could go up here, and I could show you something as well. But that's a long way off, and that's through those swamps, which are awful. And I could go down to that spider biome, which is also awful. The only hospitable rock region is way, way down there, which is a little bit unpleasant. So what I'm going to hope for is that one of these frog pond places is going to lead to there. Pushing my luck on that a little bit, knowing my luck they're just going to lead to each other. But let's give it a try anyway. Like I've said before, rocks are always the bane of my existence. Anyway, let's hope that these lead somewhere useful. They're just both north of me. Let's try this close one first. It's useful information to figure out where the wormholes all lead. That was indeed not a son of a bitch. Okay, so this wormhole here leads to this wormhole here. They are literally visible on the same screen as one another. Oh my god. Okay, let's pick up these flowers. Gonna need something to restore my sanity, and I'm not talking about Wilson's. I could really use the Tam O'Shanter right now. The reason that it's so good is that it has the highest restoration rate for a hat in the game, so it's better for your sanity than even a top hat. So let's go try one more, and then if it doesn't work, we're going to go home. Because goddamn everything. Let's grab this while we're here. Grab a carrot while we're here. Okay. You know, one of these holes does actually have to lead to the place where I want to go. It's just... No, and you know what? I'm pretty sure I've actually been in this one before. So... Alright, let's go home. And, let's swing by the McTuscan Sons while we're here, since this led us closer to them. Not too bad. Oh, he's respawned. Perfect. Gotta get our helmet on. Okay, perfect. Go. Ouch. I think that broke it. Okay, good. Shit. There we go. Pro strafing skills. Did he drop it? No, he didn't. Instead, we've got a bit of meat. We've got another one of these walrus tusks. Not all that useful. I'm gonna eat all these petals. Just get them out of the way of my inventory. And we're gonna pick up these. Not really sure which of these I want. Well, we're gonna get all of this, but I'm gonna leave this here for now. Let's go take the monster meat. No, that was a bad idea. Okay, let's drop these off as well. We'll do another run when we go pick up all this stuff later, but for now, let's get this hat back on before I freeze to death. Let's head back to base. Yeah, this was not a very productive day. We're gonna have to sleep in the tent tonight just to get our sanity back up to somewhere reasonable. And as you can see, the screen starts to crackle as though it's frosted over when you're freezing to death. It's not quite at the second stage of it, so we're not losing health yet, thankfully enough, but we're getting closer. So let's toss some fuel on that fire. Let's go put this in the drying rack. There we go. Now, our sanity is critically low, our health is getting lower, so I'm going to just eat this jerky outright as it is. That'll be a little bit better for me than the alternative. Let's go put all this nonsense in here. Put that in there. And we can get a little bit more health back by eating these carrots as well, but really I could just be eating jerky. Yeah, and I think I'm going to eat one more jerky and then go to sleep. A bit of a waste of a night, but you know, let's see here. Teeth go in there. And that's pretty much everything I'm going to have to want to deal with right now. Let's put that back in there. I'll use that to break a spider nest actually in the summer. Let's see. Eat one of these ones, I think. Okay. Got just enough time, I think, to chop down a tree or two. So let's go do that before we go to sleep. But today's day 25. As you can see, like, we just don't accomplish much in winter. That's the general pattern for winter. Not much gets done because we're so well established from summer that we don't need to get anything done. I don't have to take any of those big risks. I don't have to run out, do anything silly. I just am doing that for the sake of good television, as it were. But yeah, normally I wouldn't really recommend going out to look for rocks in winter if it involves all these portals and all that shenanigans. But anyway, let's get in the tent. Let's sleep in there for the night. As you can see, sanity, health, hunger are all pretty stable now after I've done that. I don't really actually care about any of the stuff that I left by McTusk and Sons, so let's just try and look at our options again for rocks. I might be able to do a double portal hop if this one leads where I need it to go. I'm not sure if it will, but at this rate, you know what, I'm just going to take the one that's near my house, because honestly, yeah, let's just take the blasted one that's near my house. Let's see if there's some spider queens here. If there are, I'm still going to be... Yeah, it doesn't matter. I don't even care. I don't even care. Not my problem, bro. Okay, so we're gone. That's not the best portal, in all honesty. That's probably the worst one I've ever seen, if I were to be actually honest about it. But on the other hand, it leads us to a lot of rocks, so we're going to get them. We're also picking up niter. It's an ingredient in gunpowder. I've never actually really made gunpowder. I don't really find it that useful. I can pick it up in certain, like, little boons, sometimes have it, but I don't know what you're supposed to really use it for. There might be another update in the future. I think I've heard rumors that they're thinking of an update in the future that would make it more useful, but until then, I just don't think it's really worth worrying about, so niter is usually the first thing I dump from my inventory. Picking up quite a lot of it this time, though, so... I don't know. We're just going to keep doing this until we get too cold to continue. And even then, you know, I might actually just throw on a fire and then keep mining while I warm up beside it, but since we're so close to our own camp, this isn't really a big problem. This is a pretty short walk from our fire pit. Okay. Now, we're going to have to start leaving once it hits dusk, rather than when it hits night. We don't want to wait around here all the way until night, because the spiders start activating around dusk. There's a spider queen. God damn it. Okay. Well, you know what? Screw the spider queen. I want none of that. Spider queens are one of the hardest bosses for me to fight, personally. There's really never any good reason to fight them. There is, however, a winter beefalo down here, and you know what? Depending on which way this leads, I'm gonna go get this. It leads away from the spiders, perfect. Okay, so we're gonna spend the evening chasing this. There's going to be spiders everywhere, and that's going to suck. But, you know, this is more adventurous and probably more exciting for you to watch, even though it's likely to get me killed. I'm just kidding, it's not actually that likely to get me killed. We are going to have to throw down a fire, however, but we've got plenty of resources for that. There we go. No problem. Just going to get as hot as possible, we'll wait till this turns yellow, and that'll be a good indicator that we can continue on. Just as long as these spider tracks don't go through the spiders, we'll be able to go catch this guy. And it'll be a little bit easier for us to catch him this time compared to normal, because we've got a boomerang, and boomerangs are a great way to catch... oh, shit. Okay, well... And that's turned into a spider queen as well. Alright, so we're not going to be able to get this one. We're going to have to go back to base. Real shame, but, you know, it's not worth messing with all those spider queens. I really hate that biome. It's just so stupid. There's really just no point to it other than it's like, oh, here's this place that no one can really go through. Have fun. It's like, screw you, game. Okay, let's build our fire pit over here. That'll be our fire for the night because, you know, might as well. Let's go in here. Actually, I can eat seeds now, so might as well just cook these up. And we're going to start developing a little expansion to our base over here. I'll need some more charcoal, but we burned down an entire forest earlier today, so yeah, that won't be a problem. Oh, we have got a little bit of charcoal left over here, but we've only got 3, so it's not quite enough. We got gears in one of these boxes. I know we have. Come back here, gears. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so we've got everything we were going to need for this. A little expansion. We can build ourselves another refrigerator, for instance. I just need to build a plank. Okay, and this refrigerator I'm actually going to hopefully get in the right position so that I can use whatever's in the icebox in the crock pot without having to move from one to the other. Like, I can just stand in between them and it'll let me use both at the same time, hopefully. But that'll be an accomplishment for our next day. This is probably about as far as I'm going to go for today's episode. I hope you found this informative, and I hope to see you all next time. Like I said, though, winter, there's nothing to it. I mean, you can just screw around if you've prepared properly. And, like, you can determine how successful you were that summer by this simple metric. If you spend all day in winter screwing around and all night in winter sitting by the fire eating crap, you're probably doing pretty well. That is a good metric of success in the summer. You know, if you're scrambling for food and like murdering a million rabbits, you did something wrong. That's my general metric for this situation. Okay, anyway, I hope you found this informative, and I hope to see you all next time.